So here we go. Now, here we are. This is such a learning curve, let me tell you. We chose a background, and energetically, I guess I'm just supposed to have my background from India. We chose a beautiful, lovely seascape. But Miss Minnie and I are sitting here, and we are just acknowledging that there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it, and we're learning, and we're growing, and we're unfolding in miraculous ways. And as we come together tonight, we're going to talk about the Aladdin Factor. And I absolutely love this theme, and I love this topic because I believe that there is a mystical element in metaphysics. And that when we ignore that element energetically, there's no magic in our life. There's no life and energy and the vitality of realizing that we are in the world, but of a much higher vibratory frequency. So as I welcome you to Wednesday Night Live Spirit, Mind, and Body Connection, and acknowledging our divine appointment, I want to welcome you and just please know that I can't see your comments, but I bless you for tuning in. And if Rhonda is here from Florida, God bless you, honey, and Doug from Seattle, and our Dr. Roger, who is our host, every Wednesday Night Live and every Sunday presentation of Interfaith Spiritual Center worldwide. I am just so very, very grateful for all of you. And Dr. Joan Hangarter has been guiding me through this process of utilizing StreamYard because it's a much greater reach. And what we know is that this is a life-transforming philosophy and message, and that our universal message of oneness needs to really be out there for those that are looking for something. In other words, I feel like we've all come in knowing that we're one. And along the way, we learn other things that show up. And as we learn these things, then we find metaphysics, we find a way of life that works for us, and we get to unlearn those things. So what I love about the Aladdin Factor, and it's a book, you can go online to Amazon and you can purchase it. And I've been using it for years. And Mark Victor Hansen used to come to my center in San Diego, and he would step in for me when I had to be away. And this is really when no one knew who he was, right? So Miss Minnie and I are here, and what I want you to know is I appreciate your patience in our own learning curve because, it's a little bit daunting when you're doing something for the very first time. I can just see that Joan has said good evening, and I want to say, Joan, thank you for being such a marvelous teacher. And when we learn something new in technology, and remember, I'll be 77 in July. So when I started out, there were no computers. There were electric typewriters. We had secretaries, and we would dictate things. And so this whole learning curve of those of us that did not really come in with this technology, we get to expand our brain, the little gray cells, the gray matter within our energy field, and keep expanding and growing and moving past where we've been. And do we have resistance? Of course. Every time, we do an upgrade on my iPhone or my computer, it's like a whole new learning curve, and I'm thinking, just be nice. You don't need to curse it, because that which we curse increases, that which we bless increases, doesn't it? So tonight, Miss Minnie and I, we're going to set the tone. And every Wednesday Night Live, I do share with you the opportunity to declare, after I make the declaration, to declare from this Gandhi chant, this energy. And this energy opens the heart chakra. And remember, a chakra means, it's an ancient Sanskrit word. It means a wheel of spinning energy in a clockwise fashion. We have 7 major chakras within this body temple. Our body is the temple of the living God, of which and through whom which we do such a good work. And I'm now seeing comments, so I just want to acknowledge those of you who are coming in, and I still see Joan. I love you, dear, so much. I'm so grateful for you. So I'm going to take our Tibetan bells, and I'm going to tone the chant from the Gandhi Foundation, and I invite you, just when I make the declaration, just to repeat after me. And if you don't feel comfortable really doing it audibly, or you're not in a situation where you feel comfortable doing that, just say it silently. And as you say it silently, feel the energy within your heart chamber. Feel that chakra, this wheel of spinning energy, expand. Remember, the heart is the doorway to the soul. And it's the seat of the soul. In fact, Gary Zukav wrote a beautiful book called The Seat of the Soul. And I've read that book many, many times. It's a kind of book you can go back to over and over again. And that's the way I feel about the Aladdin Factor. It's really spiritually based. It's acknowledging that every single one of us, we are on a path. Some of us don't know we're on a path until it hits us in the face, like it did Aladdin, right? And so tonight, when we really look at the energies and the archetypes that are within the Aladdin Factor, you're going to be absolutely delighted. And within this frame of reference that we've all been experiencing globally, this is an opportunity to really move to the next level. So we're going to set the tone. And I invite you to repeat after me this chant from the Gandhi Foundation. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Come, let us work together. Come, let us work together. Come, let us work together. Peace, shalom. Peace, shante. Peace, salam. Peace, pause. Peace, Friedan. Peace, Pax. Peace, 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 peace. What we know is that right now, somewhere in the world, a Jew is saying her prayers. A Hindu is chanting a mantra, and a Buddhist is kneeling at her sacred shrine. Right now, at this very moment, someone is lighting a candle in a cathedral. Someone is making their hajj toward Mecca, for it is the will of Allah. And yet someone else is lighting a fire in a jungle, repeating an ancient mystical drama. Many, many pathways up the mountaintop, and the view is always the same from the summit. In the dawning of the spiritual sun, for a moment all faiths became as one. The Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Jew became as one and somehow knew that mystic voice that calls to me, oh yonder, yonder person, I am thee. We are one. This oneness moves beyond color, race, creed, sexual orientation, and political affiliation. The blood that courses through my veins is the same color of the blood that courses through your veins. We are one. And as we acknowledge our oneness tonight, and we open the space for the mystical, the magical, and the miraculous, which go before us and prepares the way as we become a light into our own path, drawing others into our energy field and allowing that light to so shine that everyone and anyone who comes within our energy field is healed and uplifted in our presence. This is the goal. And I believe that we can tip the scales in favor of spirituality and world peace. And I just love that Karen Palmer invited me to be part of her peace movement. because a few years ago, I was voted in as the president of the International Foundation for World Peace and Research. And out of that, it's taken me all over the world. And I've met so many beautiful, beautiful people, and many of them, my Facebook friends, that were there waiting for me, and we connected. And it was not a first-time meeting. It was a joyful reunion of souls who have walked the path of life many, many lifetimes. And that's that synchronicity. That's that vibrational match where we absolutely feel that flame within us that grows for those that come in, that share that energy, that light, and that truth, and that beauty. So tonight, as we look at the Aladdin Factor, what's so magical about that is that each and every one of us, we are on our path. And there is an archetype, it's called the innocent. And the innocent kind of moves through life. Everything is beautiful and everything is wonderful and everything is fantastic. And then all of a sudden something happens. As with Aladdin, he fell down this interesting, steep energy field and found himself looking at this old, dingy lamp. And as he began to rub the lamp, there was an inscription, and it said, "Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive." And as he rubbed it more, what happened? There was an energy that came forth. It was the universal genie of life. Is that when that which we give our attention to shows up, doesn't it? In fact, I wanted to just share with you a book that I co-authored, and it just came out. And Robbie Motter created this anthology, and it's called "It's All About the Asking." All about showing up, and the power is in the asking. So when we look at Aladdin, and the genie, the universal genie of life, comes out and says, "What? Your wish is my command." And he's given what? 3 wishes. Your wish is my command. This is the universal genie. That everything that we put into the law of mind returns to us, pressed down, shaken together, and flowing over into every single area of our lives. Because the same opening that we give through is the same opening that we receive through. This is how the law of circulation works. As within, so without. And Emerson said that we are what we think about all day long. Thoughts are things, words are molds. And what I love about metaphysics is that it's been around, for centuries, since Plotinus. And all of a sudden, the secret came out. And I really acknowledge all of the beautiful co-authors in The Secret and sharing their path and their energy field. And it's unfortunate that some people put it down and say, it's very new agey, and it's you think you can get anything you want. But the truth is, there are beautiful examples in The Secret of physical healings, of emotional healings, and also, of course, material healing. Because we know that money, and we're told that money is God's concrete form of substance. It's a means of exchange. Ernest Holmes said, the only tangible thing in life are results. What are the results that we are getting? And are we just, and I know that there are metaphysical snobs and, that kind of put their hand out and think they're above all that. But the truth is, we're using the law of cause and effect, and the universe doesn't care who you are, how many degrees you have, how much money you have in the bank, how much money you don't have in the bank, how many degrees you don't have. The universe is impersonal. The universe always says yes. So we can go into our metaphysical snobbishness and think that we're so far above this, but believe me, I have been teaching this for 50 years, and 45 years, 46 in June, I will be in the ministry 46 years consecutively. And I have seen it all. I really have. And I came into this way of life because I had a healing. I had such a deep healing. And, even to this day, as stuff bubbles up, because as you know, I was raised in domestic violence. My sister took her own life. There were horrific things that went on. And every once in a while, something will trigger me. And I start weeping. And the tears fall. And what do? Our tears are so cleansing. What do? They water that beautiful, the flowering in our heart, the deepening of compassion, doesn't it? And as we deepen our own compassion, we have compassion for those that abused us, those that hurt us as children. And so we each come in with our own agenda as far as our own healing agenda and what is going to allow us to be in the world, to live, to have our experiences, to have our life, to share, to expand, to love, to laugh, to weep. But when we find that magic lamp, and we know that when the Bible states, you are a lamp unto your own feet, drawing others into your light, right? And we began polishing it. We began polishing that light within us energetically, polishing ourselves. So we let that light so shine before the world, right? This is how it works. So when that genie comes forth and says, your wish is my command. So what is it? I know that I talked last week about the 5 key actions of life, the 5 key areas, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, relationally, and financially. And we're in the world. And so there are certain things that, in quotes, responsibilities and commitments that we make. And so we want to honor those commitments. It's really fascinating. I'm applying for a grant for our spiritual center. And I have just absolutely jumped through hoops on this. It's been amazing. And of course, our Dr. Joan has helped me with some of the technology and scanning things. And I had a printer, and I've, lived here now for a little over 2 years. And I thought that when I moved, that the scanner didn't work. But, on the screen, it was really interesting. Joan thought, well, maybe we have to go into a network and get the passwords. But on that screen, I saw scanner, and I pressed it, and it brought up the scanner, the screen to scan things. It had always been there. All I had to do was press, to click on it, and it would have come up. So when we take action, in other words, we find the lamp, we're polishing the lamp. And there's some words, ask and receive. And I love what Jack Canfield said, and I only steal from the best. If you don't ASK, you don't GET. And I've known Jack Canfield since many, many years ago. Over 55 years ago, when he was an elementary school teacher, he wrote a book, 101 Ways to Teach Self-Esteem in the Classroom. So Jack is a humanitarian. He's a multimillionaire now. He started out as a teacher, and he started out with this book. And he had various things happen for him, he said. He began, saying, I can't live on this teacher's salary. My husband taught 2nd grade in a Title I disadvantaged area school, English as a second language. And he got his broker's license, so as he said, to support his teaching hobby. Because unfortunately, in our country, we have a lot of work to do. And our educators, and if you're out there listening to this and you're an educator, I acknowledge you. My daughter teaches 2nd grade in Arizona. And she said, Mother, I'm changing the world 1 2nd grader at a time. Yes, because what we put into the energy field, it comes back to us. Again, pressed down, shaken together, and flowing over into every area of our life, because the same opening we give through is the same opening that we receive through. So we're learning a lot of things. And as Aladdin had the lamp and had all this power, he really didn't know what to do with it. It was sort of like the man who saw the psychic. And it said, any 2 questions, $50. And so he sat down in front of the psychic, and, he saw, gave the $50. And he says, that's really a lot of money to be paying for 2 questions, isn't it? And she said, yes, it is. Next question. Right. So we got to be so conscious of what we're putting out into the universal mind and the energy field. And when we are conscious, when we're mindful, when we're aware, guess what? Our life begins to flow with ease and grace. And we're no longer at the effect of life. What happens with that, excuse me, is that we open a space, we open a portal. And when we open that portal energetically, and we have nurtured that portal and that energy, something great and wonderful begins to happen for us. So tonight, be very clear on what it is that you are asking the universe for. And when you're clear about what you're asking the universe for, that clarity brings it to pass in the most unlikely places, spaces, and energy fields. It's amazing how that happened. And when I was voted in as the president of the International Foundation for World Peace, we were going to nominate the Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Ida, who was the chancellor of Madonna University in Africa. And he actually founded 2 universities and a polytechnic college. He created a peace and reconciliation center. He fed 500 people a day in his amazing university. And it went on for miles. And he had 5 manufacturing companies so that the unemployed were now gainfully employed. So in this amazing compound. So I was nominating him, and I purchased my ticket to fly to Oslo, Norway. On my board was Dr. Elizabeth Gulick and then Dr. Miroslav Prostasius from Croatia. And Elizabeth was from Amsterdam, and we were all flying into Oslo to meet and to spend the week there really getting the lay of the land. And I had never nominated anyone for the Nobel Peace Prize. And so there are certain things that we, it's again, that we get to inform ourselves of. And so I got an email from Elizabeth saying that the Nobel Peace Prize Institute is closed the first week of December because they're going to be distributing the Nobel Peace prizes the second week of December. So they close the institute the month of December. Well, I'd already purchased my ticket. I'd already gotten the hotel. So I wrote back and said that I'm going to fly there anyway and just get the lay of the land. And I'm thinking about, if you don't ASK, you don't GET. So Elizabeth wrote back and said, I'm not allowing you to go by yourself alone. And then our vice president, Dr. Miroslav from Croatia, he flew in as well, and flew in a day early. And what was so amazing about this is that I had made a declaration that I was going to go to the Nobel Peace Prize Institute, closed or not, because if you don't ASK, you don't GET. And I've got my little lamp. I've got the universal genie, and nothing ventured and nothing gained, right? And so what I did is we all went in. Dr. Miroslav did not. He waited across the street at a little espresso cafe because he'd been there the day before, and he thought if he was recognized that perhaps he would look like a little too forward. So he was being really circumspect. So I went in, and there was a secretary on the phone, and she hung up the phone. And I said, hello, I'm Dr. Sharon Stroud. I am the president of the International Foundation for World Peace and Research, and I would like to speak to your director about a nomination that I have. And this is, and I introduced Elizabeth, Dr. Elizabeth Gulick from Amsterdam. And there's one more of us who is not here. And she goes, just a moment, please. And she dialed, and she said, oh, hello, Doug, D-A-G. Hello, Doug. Dr. Sharon Stroud is here from the USA, and she'd like to speak to you about a nomination. And then she hung up the phone. She said, go right in. Now remember, the instructions that I got they were closed, they wouldn't see anyone. And I just felt that I need to ride the wave of this magic carpet ride that I was on. And so we went in and he shook his hands. He was just this very handsome, darling Norwegian man. And I introduced Elizabeth and I showed him all of our paperwork and nominating this Catholic priest from Madonna University. And I shared with him all of the amazing work that he'd done, and 25,000 students at each university. What an amazing personage. And he agreed. And he said, everything's in order, except I see that, because you have to have a professor of a university submit and sign. And he said, I see that Dr. Miroslav has not signed. And I laughed and I said, he's across the street hiding out because he didn't want to appear too forward since he was here yesterday. And he came in from Croatia. And Doc said, oh, my wife is from Croatia. We love Croatia. We go every summer. And so Elizabeth went across the street. She brought Dr. Miroslav back to us to sign the documents. And then we received a personal tour of the Nobel Peace Prize Institute that the general public was not privy to. So we went to all these other chambers, and to be standing in the energy field. In fact, I wrote this in Robbie's book as a co-author, showing up to stand in the energy field to see the Nobel Peace Prize. And what they do is they make copies of them, or actually they make two, so that they can put up every recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in their beautiful, beautiful, it's like a beautiful chamber, the Nobel Peace Prize chamber. And then they give, of course, the Nobel Peace Prize to the recipient. So here I was standing with Mother Teresa, who said, remember, peace begins with a smile. I was standing there in the energy field of Nelson Mandela, who said that when he walked out of that prison, he knew that if he did not forgive in his heart, that he would be imprisoned forever. And here I was standing in this energy field. It was absolutely magical. And then I looked up and I could see Martin Luther King Jr. And I could feel that hatred does not drive out hatred. Only love can do that, right? And darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Here I am standing in this energy field. I could feel the spirit of each Nobel Peace Prize recipient. And I felt such amazing gratitude. So what I want you to know tonight is this whole month, we're going to go into the Aladdin Factor. We're going to talk about asking. We're going to talk about ways of asking. And I want you to just within yourself, just feel that energy of what is your highest vision, your deepest desire, and your most sacred goal. What is that for you? And as you allow yourself to feel that energy and to know that as I let go and let God do what God does best, by means of me, I create the space for that to flow through. So we're going to, and I just bless each and every one of you. I do want to just thank you for tuning in. I can see that my Reverend Emma is here, and I see that Susan is here, and Tina Marie is here, and Michael Foley, who is my student in San Diego. God bless you, honey. Thank you for your donation. You're just such a darling, wonderful energy and consciousness. He was also a youth advisor for many, many years. So I actually can see those comments tonight on this whole new format. It's called StreamYard. And what it does is it simultaneously goes to the Sharon Stroud page, the Dr. Sharon Stroud page, the Rose of Sharon page, the Interfaith Spiritual Center page, and to our YouTube. And so if you want to know about or subscribe to our YouTube, it's there for you. So it's just a whole new learning curve, and there's a lot to it to, bring it forward and allow it to do what it does best. And it's just, we're going to have a much broader reach. And my beloved, the Reverend Dr. Joan Hangarter, who I ordained in November, she's also my favorite chiropractor, has just walked me through this process. And I have been just eternally grateful, and you can just imagine. So I would like you to just post your prayer requests tonight, knowing that I complete every service with a prayer, a spiritual treatment. And remember, a spiritual treatment is a positive prayer of alignment. We don't beg, bargain, or beseech an anthropomorphic God sitting on a throne with the white flowing beard. Our God is energy, a loving presence, everywhere present. Remember, the center of everything, the circumference of nothing, no thing. Everywhere present. So just align with me as I call in the angels, the archangels, and all enlightened beings to cleanse, purify, harmonize, balance, attune, and heighten the energy field. For what I know is that eye hath not seen nor ear heard, neither hath entered into the heart of humanity the things which God hath prepared for them that love. Whatever you conceive your God to be, whatever name you put on your higher power, it matters not, but to acknowledge that which is within us is greater than that which resides in the world of conditions, appearances, and effects. And as we come together tonight and know that that which needs to be healed is healed, that which needs to be revealed is revealed, that which needs to be known is known, and that which needs to be released is released, quickly, gently, and with grace. And as we open the space to allow God to do what God does best, we know that all cause, effect, record, and memory of that which no longer serves returns to its native nothingness from whence it came. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this way of life and the knowingness that any plant which the Heavenly Father hath not planted is rooted up. And if there's someone who is viewing tonight that possibly cried themselves to sleep last night, I want you to know that you are not alone. The love of God surrounds you. The light of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you, and the presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is. This is the truth for you and with you. For those of you who are grieving losses in your life, just know at the very deepest level that death is not extinguishing the light, it's turning off the lamp, because dawn has come for that loved one. Dr. Holmes has stated that what is death but the impatient gesture of the soul to rid itself of a body it no longer needs, throwing off the physical and entering the luminous body, the light body. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glint on snow. I am the swift uplifting rush. I am the gentle quiet hush. I am the birds that come out in flight. I am the stars in a very darkened night. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. And our Robert Hollywood Marino, who passed this morning, I know that you are singing to us from heavenly realms, and we can feel your light and your energy, and that you are loved. And for all of us who have lost loved ones, we know the veil is very thin, and so we grieve, we weep, we recover, we heal, and then our compassionate heart reaches out to others and serves others through our own experience. This is how it works. It's a golden chain of luminosity, energy, and light, the light of compassion. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this way of life. As I let go and let God do what God does best, I know that this word returns in full-blown expression of that which has been sent forth on this glorious evening. This evening of love, of profound sharing, and the energy of light. And so it is. Amen. Again, I thank you for tuning in. I acknowledge all of you who are supporting us financially. And I want you to know that there was a time I felt very uncomfortable about asking for money. I think it was just all of us that were raised that it's not polite to ask, and you don't ever ask for money. I mean, even if you're a minister, and this is how we support our ministries. And again, when I learned that what is money but God's concrete form of substance, it's a means of exchange. So the fact that we have been unable to receive a physical offering since last March because of you, your generosity, your light, your energy, your caring, our doors are open. And Dr. Roger has put on the post that you may, go to our PayPal account. You can, mail into our PO box. You can call our number if you'd like to do the credit card donation. And we know that the same opening that we give through is the same opening we receive through, that our doors are open. We're able to pay our beautiful Reverend Prince Fleet, who is our director of music, who actually reduced what we had been paying him. And we're just so grateful for that, dear, because he is an amazing talent. We're so blessed to have him as our MC every Sunday. You can tune in this Sunday at 10:30. We'll be StreamYarding and we'll be getting it down. So I just appreciate your patience and your love and your energy as I say namaste. The God in me salutes the God in you, and the God in you salutes the God in me. And if I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there is only one of us. I say shalom, the peace that passes all understanding. And God bless us, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and for allowing your light to shine on Minnie and myself. And we are just so very grateful. So we are going to end this broadcast and we're going to see you next week. Same time, same station, same place. All right. Love you, love you, love you.